The electric vehicle revolution is in full swing, fueled by ambitious climate goals and a growing desire for cleaner transportation. But amidst the hype, a storm of concerns is brewing, and at the center stands Carlos Tavares, CEO of Stellantis, the automotive giant behind brands like Jeep, Ram, and Dodge. Tavares' recent pronouncements have sent shockwaves through the industry. He paints a stark picture of an EV future riddled with challenges, particularly for the middle class. His core arguments can be distilled into three key points. First, affordability. Tavares argues that the current crop of EVs are simply too expensive for the average consumer. The high cost of battery technology and the complex charging infrastructure translate to hefty price tags, putting EVs out of reach for many. This, he fears, could create an EV elite, leaving the middle class stranded in the dust of a gas-guzzling past. Secondly, the lithium crunch. The transition to EVs hinges heavily on lithium, a key component of batteries. However, Tavares raises a crucial question. Does the Earth have enough lithium to power the billions of EVs needed for a truly clean future? He posits that the current lithium reserves might not be enough, potentially throwing a wrench in the entire EV master plan. And then, the banning of cars. Tavares criticizes the aggressive bans being imposed on gas-powered vehicles. He argues that such drastic measures, without a readily available and affordable EV alternative, could cripple the automotive industry and disrupt transportation for millions. He advocates for a more measured approach, one that prioritizes affordability and ensures a smooth transition for all. Tavares' concerns are not unfounded. The affordability issue is a major hurdle, and the lithium question deserves serious consideration. Moreover, forcing a rapid shift without proper infrastructure could have unintended consequences. Why are governments globally pushing for the adoption of electric vehicles by phasing out combustion cars? Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares revealed a game-changing admission that could reshape your perspective on the electric revolution. In a stark EV warning, Tavares, leading the conglomerate of 12 automakers, including industry giants like Ram, Chrysler, and Dodge, issued a chilling alert that might send shivers through the batteries of your cherished Teslas and Rivians. During Stellantis' inaugural Freedom of Mobility Forum, Tavares unveiled a revelation with potential dire consequences for the entire EV industry. The prevailing question about the need for lithium takes center stage. Even with the acknowledgement of this necessity, the looming scarcity of resources, particularly lithium, threatens to disrupt the EV narrative. Tavares' cautionary note suggests that the transition from 1.3 billion internal combustion engine cars to EVs isn't just a colossal undertaking, it could be an insurmountable challenge. Despite Stellantis committing an astounding $35.5 billion investment in plug-in models until 2025 and forming partnerships like the one with Samsung for their inaugural EV battery factory, a looming specter of resource scarcity haunts these ambitious plans. Elon Musk and Rivian's RJ Scarange have echoed concerns about the scarcity of critical materials like nickel, graphite, and cobalt, crucial for EV production. Here's where questions arise. Can the world extract these resources efficiently, considering the bureaucratic hurdles and geopolitical tensions surrounding the process? The grandeur of EV plans hinges on overcoming not only technological challenges, but also navigating a complex landscape of resource acquisition. While we possess lithium, establishing new mines for extraction could extend the timeline to nearly a decade. Tavares warns that the proposed combustion ban by the European Union may have more severe consequences than anticipated. He argues that such a ban could potentially increase, rather than decrease, greenhouse gas emissions due to the inadequate allocation of our limited lithium resources. Germany appears to heed this caution, as they rejected the combustion ban last month, emphasizing the need to account for future green fuels. If Europe and certain US states implement a blanket ban on combustion engines, it could exacerbate the already 40% higher cost of EVs compared to their internal combustion counterparts. Mercedes-Benz's CEO echoes this concern, highlighting that increasing EV production without an optimized supply chain could further inflate prices. In search of alternatives, Tavares proposes a practical solution, mandating every new vehicle to have a zero emissions range of 30 to 50 miles. This approach, considering that 90% of all drives are under 30 miles, could offer a more affordable and efficient pathway. Tavares, known for his straightforward demeanor, bluntly stated, we're not there yet on range. To alleviate range anxiety, he insists that EVs need to achieve a 400-mile range on a single charge. However, the CEO's insights don't conclude at this point. What other perspectives or solutions should be considered in addressing the challenges of EV adoption? The quest to eliminate range anxiety, according to Tavera, requires EVs to achieve a 400-mile range on a single charge. Yet, his revelations didn't end there. He dropped another bombshell with potentially far-reaching implications for the middle class, disclosing that the production costs for EVs are a staggering 40% higher than those for internal combustion cars. Adding to the apprehension, Tavera admitted, "We can't just pass those costs on to consumers because we would lose half of our customer base." This stark realization challenges the notion of affordable electric vehicles for the average consumer, painting it as a potential illusion, a pipe dream, and a ticking time bomb poised to shatter middle-class aspirations. Tavera further scrutinized the weight of EVs, introducing another layer of complexity to the bleak scenario. He emphasized that achieving a reasonable 400 miles of range would add 1,000 pounds of weight compared to a similar internal combustion vehicle. Tavera cautioned against the sustainability of such an increase, while acknowledging that regulations essentially dictate selling EVs or facing dire consequences. Amidst these challenges, Tavera proposed an alternative solution, a swift 50% reduction in carbon dioxide emissions on average by replacing cars that are 15 years or older with modern equivalents, possibly equipped with mild hybrid technology. In taking this stance, Stellantis' CEO emerges as a vocal critic of what he perceives as the weaponization of climate change policies. How might this alternative approach be received in the broader conversation on environmental sustainability? Stellantis' CEO has taken a firm stance as a vocal critic, warning against what he perceives as the weaponization of climate change policies. He cautions that these policies shouldn't be wielded as tools to rebuild competitiveness in a global trade context. With major players like the United States and China offering substantial subsidies to promote clean technologies and electric vehicles, Tavera poses an important question. Are we inadvertently triggering a global trade war under the guise of combating climate change? This concern isn't mere speculation, but rather a red flag that could signal the potential collapse of the EV dream, presented to us as the panacea for environmental challenges. Tavera's skepticism is underscored by the struggles of fellow automakers such as General Motors, Ford, Hyundai, and Rivian, grappling with the soaring costs of battery materials. The recent EV tax credit stipulations, mandating North American battery production or friendly country sourcing, have further complicated the plans of many automakers. It seems as though the industry stands on a precarious foundation, built on policies more divisive than inclusive, more destructive than constructive. Tavera consistently emphasizes the risk of pricing the middle class out of the EV market if additional production costs can't be absorbed by automakers. Highlighting the affordability challenge, Tavera identifies the sweet spot for accessible EVs around $25,000. He raises concerns about the reliance on subsidies for affordability and the potential consequences when these subsidies are inevitably rolled back. If subsidies vanish, the middle class might not only be excluded from purchasing new cars, but could also face exclusion from personal mobility altogether. Despite Stellantis' somewhat less aggressive electrification strategy among the Detroit Three, even their full-size electric pickup, the Ram 1500 REV, is anticipated to feature a gasoline-fueled range extender. This underscores the company's struggles to fully embrace electrification. Despite an 80% reduction in the average cost of an EV battery, the starting prices of EVs remain high. Jeep, synonymous with rugged off-road vehicles, hasn't been immune to these market dynamics. Despite a commitment to electrification with models like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee 4 XE plug-in hybrids, Jeep grapples with declining sales and a tarnished brand image. First quarter sales for Jeep were down nearly 20%, while Ram truck sales experienced a 17% decline, largely attributed to a significant increase in vehicle pricing. In 2015, a Jeep Wrangler had a price tag ranging from $35,000 to $38,000. Fast forward to 2023, and the same vehicle, equipped with a manual transmission, commands a staggering $52,000. This significant price surge isn't merely a consequence of inflation or supply chain challenges. It reflects a deliberate strategy by Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares to reposition Jeep as a luxury brand. Dealers have been granted the liberty to impose substantial markups, often reaching into the thousands of dollars, further distancing the once accessible and appealing Jeep from the middle-class consumer base. However, this luxury positioning appears to be backfiring for Jeep, particularly as the brand grapples with quality control issues. Recent recalls due to fire risks and safety concerns have taken a toll on the brand's reputation. Additionally, the incorporation of luxury and performance features, increasingly standard in electric vehicles, contributes to their elevated costs. A case in point is the electric Ford F-150 Lightning, starting at about $56,000, a considerable premium compared to its gas-powered counterpart. This pricing trend isn't exclusive to newcomers like Tesla or Rivian. Mainstream automakers are also pricing their EV models at a premium, making the transition to electric vehicles financially challenging for middle-class consumers. The crucial call to action is for brands to align with consumer preferences and cease pricing cars with features that prove impractical and scarcely utilized. As we confront these unsettling revelations, several looming questions cast a shadow over the future. If the production costs of electric vehicles are indeed 40% higher than those of internal combustion vehicles, and passing these costs to consumers risks losing a significant customer base, what lies ahead for EVs? Could we be standing at the brink of a mobility crisis that might exclude the middle class from personal transportation? Perhaps more disconcertingly, are we headed towards a future where policies intended to save the planet inadvertently cause more harm than good? The ticking clock underscores the urgency, and the answers to these questions may well chart the course of our collective future. In the midst of this battle between electric and internal combustion engines, which side do you find yourself on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. While you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.